I thought about this for a moment. He swore on his mother's life that was more than a promise. I changed the subject after that, which Vanessa appreciated. After that we watched a movie in her living room. Halfway through the movie I looked at my watch, which read 9:34 p.m. Shit, Mom said be back by 9:30. I got up from Vanessa's couch and kissed her goodbye. We'll finish the movie later, I said. She kissed her hand and blew it at me saying, okay, love you babe. I ran out as I looked down at my phone to see my mom calling. Where are you? It's 9:34 and I told you to be back by 9:30? Sorry Mom, I just lost track of time, I said. My mom wasn't one of those strict parents who got on kids who weren't home right on the dot, so she said, okay honey, drive safe, I'll see you at home, I love you. Love you too, I said. As I drove home, Vanessa's words were echoing in my mind. He may have promised you he didn't do anything, but anyone can lie when they're desperate. Maybe she's right, maybe he did lie to me. I thought, wait no, this is Anthony, we're talking about your best friend since second grade. The memory of what Anthony said to me when I asked about Tommy came back out of nowhere. Bro, why wouldn't you trust your best friend? I'm not lying to you, I didn't do shit to Tommy, I swear dude, on my mom's life you have to believe me. Who should I trust, my girlfriend or my best friend? I started to get a headache thinking about this as I pulled into my driveway. I unlocked my front door and saw my mom sitting on the counter drinking some water, looked up as I walked in and said, hey Josh, how was your time at Vanessa's? It was good, we started the third 50 Shades of Grey movie. We didn't finish it but we will probably tomorrow, I said. Oh how fun, she said as she hugged me. My parents were divorced and I lived with my mom. They didn't divorce because of cheating or anything bad, they just decided they were better off as friends. I would go over to my dad's place about 3 times a week usually. He lived pretty close to where we lived, so going back and forth from my parents' houses was pretty easy. Are you hungry at all? My mom asked. No, I'm good. Hey Mom. I asked. Yes sweetie. She asked. I've never asked in a while, but what do you think about Anthony? She looked at me, then thought for a moment before saying, well, I think he's a good kid. He's been your best friend for a long time and he's been almost like your personal bodyguard, she said with a laugh. I laughed then said, yeah, I was just wondering because you remember that kid that went missing about a year ago at our school? How could I forget? I was getting so many messages about it from my friends, she said. Well, remember how I also told you the kid who went missing was bullying Anthony? I asked. Yes, what are you getting at Josh? She said. Do you think Anthony did anything to him? Or did something with him? My mom was quiet now, she looked down at the floor then up at me as she said, I don't think that Anthony would do something like that, why do you think he would? She asked. I don't know, it's just when the police were searching and the kids were making rumors he was so nervous, he quivered when he spoke and he never could look me in the eye. When the police finally gave up on their search he just went back to normal again. I said. Well, maybe he was nervous that the police would hear the rumors and they would ask him questions and maybe arrest him. There are a lot of reasons to be nervous Josh, the police especially make people nervous. I thought about this for a moment, maybe she's right, Anthony was just scared that the police might arrest him. That's reasonable. Okay, thanks for listening Mom. I said heading up to bed. Oh course sweetie, I love you. She said. I love you too. The next day at school I texted Anthony and asked if he wanted to meet up at lunch. He agreed and after sitting down we talked about football, school, girls, the normal stuff. It felt like old times again and I didn't realize how much I actually missed really talking with him. Hey bro, I've missed hanging out with you, feels like we never do anymore, Anthony said. Yeah I know, we should definitely hang out sometime, I said. How about tonight? If you don't have anything to do, he said. Yeah I'd love to do, I said. The bell ringed and before we took off to our classes he said as he gave me a fist bump, "Sick man, come over to my house around 4. "Sounds awesome, see you then," I said waving before heading off to my next class. I met up with Vanessa after school as I usually did to walk her home. On the walk she asked if I wanted to come over tonight to finish the movie. "Sorry babe, not tonight, I'm hanging out with Anthony," I said. She looked at me with an annoyed and worried expression on her face. She said, "Babe, you know I don't like you hanging around him, he could be dangerous and I just don't get a good vibe from him." I started to get a little annoyed as I said, "V, he's my best friend, I know deep down he's a good person, he's protected me and been by my side almost my whole life. I'm not gonna stop hanging out with him just because of some stupid rumors that were made up about him almost a year ago." She was quiet the rest of the walk, she didn't even say a goodbye or "I love you" at her house. She just walked inside, slamming the door behind her. I sighed as I started to head home. I looked at the time on my phone which read 3:34 p.m. Might as well head to Anthony's now. I thought.